Good evening, sickos. Today we're going to begin what we believe is going to be another series journey on the channel.
We're going to be exploring some old mysteries. Are they still a mystery?
We'll be finding out. We're going to do this by one of us is going to recall to the best of their memory a mystery that really gripped them. And then we're gonna look and find out, did they ever find that out?
This is a Virginia mystery. Okay. So there are these things called the Beale Papers or the Beale Ciphers. And
I'm just excited.
Okay. There are 3 of them. And this is also about treasure. Okay?
Okay.
I like treasure. So there's 3 ciphers. The first cipher, uncoded, is supposed to reveal like the exact location of the treasure. The second reveals what's in it, and the third reveals who it would be given to, like the heirs of the treasure. Which I'm like, if I find the treasure, it should go to me. But it's like within the treasure, it's supposed to be like 3 tons of like gold, silver, jewels. Shit, okay?
Booty.
Yes, booty. And like, however much it is, it's like $12 million is going to go to the finder, but the rest is supposed to go to the families of the people who like buried it.
Huh.
The second cipher, solved.
Oh.
So that's how they know it's this much gold, it's this much silver. It all came from this guy, like John Beale.
Okay.
And
in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Virginia.
It's in Bedford, Virginia.
Oh my god.
And it's like on a farm, but we aren't sure. The cipher hasn't been solved, and like a lot of people think that this is a hoax, which a lot of people think a lot of buried treasure is hoaxing.
I'm the kind of listen. I don't look into buried treasure that often. I believe all of it is real. I am the person that's like, it's real.
They think it's on this like one person's farm, and nowadays like people have been arrested trying to like look for it on this farm in this location. But we know what's in it. And then so apparently John Beale and like 30 dudes buried this treasure, and we're gonna go do something. I don't even remember what, but he was
John and the boys.
But John and the dudes buried this treasure, and he was like, my good friend innkeeper Morris, straight up. If you don't hear from me in 10 months, a letter will arrive. And yeah, and it will have the key to the ciphers. Okay, in 10 months, there will be the key to the cipher. He's giving him the ciphers, and he said, if you don't hear from me in 10 months, I'm mailing you the key to this ciphers. To the code.
Yeah.
He didn't hear from him in 10 months, but he never got the key. And this like innkeeper Morris gave it to his buddy on his deathbed and was like, oh yeah, I have these ciphers. And that's what people think it's a hoax, that whoever he gave it to then actually just wrote them, and it's all a big lie. It's all a fake.
But they were things solvable. They
were
solvable ciphers.
Oh, the second cipher was solved by, it's a number thing.
Yeah.
And it was corresponding to a version of the Declaration of Independence. And so it was like, okay, the 115th, it was like 115, blah, blah, blah. And then, so the 115th word of the Declaration of Independence is something that starts with an I. So they were like, okay, 115 means I. And it's like, in the chest you will find, or whatever. So that's the Beale ciphers. I don't want to steal your thunder, but I want to guess what your mystery is.
I'm pretty sure you have heard of my mystery, because also I learned about it when we lived together, but I don't know if we ever ended up talking about it.
Oh, okay, so it's not the Malaysian plane.
No, but that is like, I know you and I view similarly about the Malaysian plane. Wormhole.
Yeah. But
we already solved that mystery. My mystery. Any other guesses?
No.
My mystery is about these hikers from like Eastern Europe.
Okay.
I like really don't remember the details, but it's like definitely alien related or something insane supernatural. So there was like this group of, I definitely more than 4 people, but I don't think more than 9 people. And they were, I don't think any of them were English speaking people.
Okay.
Yeah. Like they were all from like Eastern Europe, I'm pretty sure. And it was in these mountains in Eastern Europe, and it was snowing. It was cold snow mountain hiking they were doing. And they made camp for the night. And based on what was found days later or months later when they were discovered, it seems like something spooked them and something like terrorized them.
Okay.
And then I can't remember if it was either that they were all found dead or they were literally never found.
Okay.
I think it was that they were never found. And it's like the way that the footprints were left in the snow, it's like they all ran from the tent. Some of them all ran in one direction, the other ones all ran to the woods. And then the ones that went all together, not into the woods, even though it was all probably woods, this is how I pictured it in my head.
Yeah.
They all threw their clothes off.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yes, yeah, this! Yeah. And that's all the details I can remember.
Okay.
And then we lived together in 2019 mostly.
Yeah.
So that was the last time that I heard anything about this.
Maybe some were found, but not all.
Okay.
How long ago did that happen?
Like the 70s, I
Yes.
thought. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm like not misremembering things from Everest in this, but I'm remembering what you're thinking and talking about.
Yes, yeah.
They took off their clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the part that people are like, could have been some sort of psychedelic drug accident, or like this, that, other thing. They could have been poisoned, this, that. It could have been something mental.
Yeah.
Could have been something supernatural. Could have been unexplainable. Phase 2.
So the gold, silver, and jewels estimated to be worth over $43 million as of 3 years ago. This pamphlet was published in 1885, but it was buried between those years of 1819 and 1821, so 200 years ago, literally.
Oh my god, yeah.
First unsolved location, second solved is of the contents of the treasure, and the third, it lists the names of the treasure's owners and their next of kin.
So what if someone does 1?
And
What if-
doesn't do 3.
I was gonna say,
Why
who the fuck would you? Why? I bet someone already has solved 3 and they're like, we don't care.
Robert Morris.
Bobby Morris.
Robert Morris University. There's a clue
They're
there.
linked.
Since the publication of the pamphlet, a number of attempts have been made to decode the 2 remaining ciphertexts to locate the treasure, but all efforts have resulted in failure. There are many arguments that the entire story is a hoax, and James B. Ward, he published the pamphlet.
Okay.
So that's why they think he is hoaxing and he is a Freemason. Here are the ciphers.
Wow. Ted Cruz has been in the game for a long time.
He was the leader of a group of 30 gentlemen adventurers from Virginia who stumbled upon the rich mine of gold and silver while hunting buffalo. After Beale made multiple trips to stalk the hiding place, he then encrypted the 3 messages. Now, why would he do that to these guys? You know?
Well, that is what's interesting. So it's like, what would be the motivation? Because if they were all the 30 guys, if those heirs are in the papers, then it's like, why would they have made that part a secret?
Why wouldn't he given the ciphers to the kin? Like,
yeah, why did they give them to his innkeeper friend Bobby Moe?
don't open the box unless he or one of his men, 10 years, not 10 months, Lamau, didn't come back for 10 years. Beale promised that a friend in St. Louis would mail the key to the cryptograms, however, it never arrived. Humans have limited abilities when it comes to generating random numbers out of thin air. The numbers were produced by a human in base 10, which would mean that the ciphers are fraudulent.
That's interesting. That like, just like the distribution of this graph, that it's like cipher 2 is so clearly blah blah, where ciphers 1 and 3 are wildly different. So it's like, not that they'd be fraudulent, but like, that the probability-wise that they are, especially when you look at the information like this.
Mm-hmm.
But then, why?
Right.
Why fake the 2 letters only to say, this is how much there is?
So I'm not understanding because this is like talking about statistics and random numbers. So basically, humans aren't good at just like spouting off random numbers.
Yeah.
And a human couldn't do this.
Yeah. They are completely different ciphers in the way that they're set up, and in different ways with their variability as well. A human couldn't, so as randomly as possible, actually randomly do that.
And get a p-value, like a human couldn't do this p-value?
Yes.
But these papers are from the 1800s.
That didn't occur to me at all.
That's what I'm like. That's where I was like, hold on.
How the fuck is that possible?
What do you, so yeah.
What non-human put together this cipher?
Ciphers 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Mystery.
Unsolved, even.
It's definitely old.
I don't even know what my mystery is actually called. I'm gonna say hikers from 70s who went missing to jail, went home.
I would maybe say something about Europe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
it.
was tough pass. Yeah.
All I heard was Russia, and they're like, did you mean this? 59. Okay.
And there were
It was 9 people. Experienced trekking group. Inadequately dressed for heavy snowfall and sub-zero temperatures. Those bodies were discovered. Investigation by Soviet authorities determined 6 had died from hypothermia, while other 3 had been killed by physical trauma. 1 had major skull damage, the other 2 had chest trauma, another had a small crack in the skull. 4 were found in running water in a creek, and 3 of these had soft tissue damage to the head and face. 2 of the bodies were missing their eyes, 1 was missing a tongue, and 1 was missing its brows. The investigation concluded that compelling natural force had caused the deaths. Numerous theories have been put forward to account for the unexplained deaths, including animal attacks, hypothermia, avalanche, katabatic winds, and infrasound-induced panic, military involvement, or some combination of these. New investigation 2019. Its conclusions were presented last year. Avalanche led to the deaths. Survivors had been forced to suddenly leave their camp in low visibility and inadequate clothing and had died of hypothermia. A study led by scientists from these organizations suggested a type of avalanche known as a stab avalanche.
Slap.
Prominent rock outcrop in the area is now memorial to the group. So they say it's an avalanche, but no eyes, no tongue, no eyebrows. Somebody took a face off with other people's.
The mummy. I would believe is a combination of the infrasound and military systems.
Even though this is what they concluded, I don't believe that the avalanche, that doesn't add up to me, so let's go to infrasound.
Yeah, like certain wavelengths and frequencies can like
Inducing panic attacks. Okay.
make you go crazy.
A wind over the mountain caused physical discomfort and mental distress. But then why didn't they have their eyes, tongues, and eyebrows?
This is the undressing you were talking about. Because it was like, why would they have, they got hypothermia, but they were like undressed. They removed their clothes. But that's because hypothermia thinks you're burning hot.
Undisputed, 6 of the 9. The others in the group had required additional clothing. From those already died. They were a sound mind enough to try to add on the layers.
Well, what's crazy, didn't it say they were experienced trekkers?
Yes.
So why weren't they prepared?
They said that the weather unforeseen weather conditions, and it was the late 50s.
Yeah.
And it's also Soviet Russia.
What time of year was it? Well, obviously winter, I guess.
Yeah, February in Russia. That argument possibly related to a romantic encounter that left some of them only partially clothed led to a violent dispute. That is highly implausible. The group was largely harmonious, but sexual tension was confined to platonic flirtation and crushes. There were no drugs present, only alcohol, a small flask of medicinal alcohol found intact at the scene. Funny that this Soviet authority figure is like, now,
There was no sex.
there was no orgies on the mountain, nor was there any drugs on the precipice of the 60s here in Russia. But that last comment, a fight could not have left the massive injuries that one body had suffered. Which, like, that's the part that this is why I'm like, what's the truth? Actually, Ellen, avalanche isn't true.
Right.
Eyeballs out of the head, eyebrows gone off the face, tongue out of the mouth. Tongue out of the mouth. You could be like, okay, well, what if they were pushed by an avalanche and they like, literally bit their own tongue out of their face while they were pushed around? Why would an eyeball come out of the head?
Right.
And if
To two people.
yeah, and if the photo flash bomb was so powerful it melted their eyes out of their head, then why did the tongues come out too?
Well, after exploring the Wikipedia page of both of our mysteries, I want to go to Bedford County with a shovel. I want to go. I want to, not that I have any experience cracking a cipher at all. I want to crack it. Go to that inn that Morris may or may not have worked at back then. It's still there. But did he exist? I kind of think so. But it could be that kind of conglomerate.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't think that at the heart of this, it was just one guy selling pamphlets. No matter what, there's something more here. Whether or not there is $43 million attached is the real question.
Now with yours, I'm surprised that they reopened it, kind of.
Yes.
There's also, like, I feel like you gotta take that with a grain of salt because that was 62 years ago.
Yes.
Like, the forensic evidence or the photographs that they have literally, like, are not going to show the whole picture. If there are even, I don't know how they documented crimes in Russia.
And how they're going to disclose that to the public without doctoring it. You can say what you want about Russia now, but at that point in time, there was nothing but corruption.
It was the Soviet Union.
It doesn't matter if this is the truth they believe now. It's like, there had to have been inherent lies.
Right,
there
censorship.
Yes.
And cover up.
What I earnestly, in my pea brain, think happened, an avalanche makes sense. And that there was unexpected extra snow, so they didn't have truly the right gear, and some sort of avalanche happening. And that's why the 6 of them all are found in one area, blah, blah. But that the other 3, something else happened.
Something else happened.
What caused that avalanche?
I think there is also that strong possibility that it was like the noise fucking with them too.
Made them crazy. Something messed up happened, and here's to all of them. Well, those are our old mysteries that we wanted to revisit.
We might do this every so often.
Yes.
But this is a spooky month.
Yes, this is one of our first of several spooky videos that we are releasing to you.
Yeah, stay tuned. We've got more coming at you. Well, bye.
Bye.